Welcome everybody to my first YouTube channel. Today I want you to watch, leave a comment, subscribe, share, do all that other stuff you know when you're watching YouTube channels that you do. Today up on the mountain we're going to do a little steak practice. I've got a couple comps coming up for SCA steaks. First thing you do is you pick out a nice ribeye. I had these cut at Kroger's. They're 1 1/8 and 1/8 thick. We're going to do a little comp trim on them. Then I'll show you how I prep them and get them ready for the grill. Alright, first thing I like to do on a comp trim is I like to trim these edges out. You want to leave this spinale. This is called the spinale here. That's where your judge is going to take its first bite. So I like to trim these little edges out here, trying to make this as round as I can make this. Just get these little fat pieces out here, get these off, kind of rounding this off a little bit. You don't have to make it too round, but we're going to tie it with a string to kind of round it off a little bit better. You see how that's not round exactly right there, but we can squeeze that in. Maybe trim this little edge off here. See how we make that just kind of round? Maybe even take a little bit more off right there, because you're looking for an appearance score here. Alright, see how round that is? Then we take a string to keep it round while it's cooking. We tie this little string around here, and it helps keep it round. And I just like to trim this little extra string off here. Alright, that's ready to be seasoned and marinated. Now welcome back to the seasoning and marinating portion. I got a couple things I like to do when I'm doing a comp cook. I like to first hit it with a little bit of phosphate, which is you can buy on Amazon. You can get it from Butcher's Barbecue, where I got mine. I just like to put a little light coating on both sides. It'll help bring the moisture out and help your steak get that pop right before the judge takes his bite. Then I hit a little with accent. Get that at your local grocery store. Hit it with a light coating, pat it down, both sides, pat it down. Then I like to hit another with a little light dusting of Killer Hog's AP rub, best stuff on the market, use it on everything. Then I let that sit in a pan for about 30 minutes. Alright, while those steaks are in there waiting and with the seasonings on them and letting that sweat out a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and get my kettle. I'm cooking on a Weber kettle today. I've got a chimney of charcoal, red bag, royal oak, the only stuff to use. Don't mess with any of that other stuff. I'm going to put a couple fire cubes underneath here, and we're going to get this thing cooking. Whenever you're barbecuing, you've got to have your friends around. That's Bronson, that's Chip, and that's Spot. Spot guards the gateway. Alright, while those coals are out there working and getting ready, I'm going to add a little bit of Dale's. And I've added this a little flavor, and it also helps hold the steak rub on. So just a sprinkle. And I let it sit there, and then I turn it over. Kind of rub in what's spilled in the pan. I don't want too much on there. So I just kind of use what's spilled into the pan. And then I get Killer Hog's steak rub. I'm new to this. I usually use Montreal's, but I wanted to try this. So we're going to do that, and we're just going to do a general coating and get that crunch on the outside. So I'm going to let it sit there. That Dale's really holds that rub on to the steaks. I'm going to give it a little pat. flip it over, same thing. Alright, we're going to let that sit there until those coals are ready, and then we'll start out there. Alright, those steaks are really starting to look good. Sweating out a little bit. They're going to sit for about another 15 minutes. Then we'll get them on the grill. Alright, while we're waiting for them steaks to cool, I've got my little heat infrared laser thermometer. I'm going to check the temperature of my grates. You want to measure right there on the ridge. And I'm hitting about 375, about 380 consistently. So I got a ways to go because I want them to be about 600, over 600, because we want to put that fast sear on those steaks and get those good marks. All right, we've got our grill up to temp. It's about 650 across my grates. I'm going to use a piece of fat that I trimmed off. I'm going to season my grates up real fast. Try not to let too much heat out. You can hear that sizzle. This just helps keep it from sticking, keep it clean. Alright, we'll put the steak on. I'm going to put it so that this spinalis is facing at 2 o'clock. So when I flip it, I'll put it at 10 o'clock, and that way I'll get those good crosshatch. So I put it right in the middle. I press it down, make sure it gets good contact on across all the grates, and then I start my timer and close the lid. I'm going to go about 2 minutes before I flip it. Alright, it's been 2 minutes, and I'm going to take my grill spatula and I'm going to flip it. I'm going to take it, I'm going to turn it. That's 2 o'clock. I'm going to turn it 10 o'clock, set it down and press it down. Shut it down. We're going to go another 2 minutes. Alright, it's been 2 minutes, so I'm going to take it and now I'm going to flip it over. I should have some really good grill marks. See those real good grill marks there? Normally right here I'd put a little bit of butter on it, but I don't have the butter with me today, and I'd put some butter and maybe some thyme, kind of brush it on there, let it sit, but we're just going to hope for the best today. Wait another 2 minutes or so, and then we're going to temp it with our thermopin. Looking for about a 130 for a medium. You want that to be that perfect medium. Then we're going to pull it off there and rest. Let it rest. If you don't have a thermopin, you need to get one. Alright, we've checked our temp. We're hitting about 130 pretty consistently all around. I'm going to take it off here, and I'm going to put it on my plate with a little bit of a tint. I'm going to let that tint. I don't want to keep all the, I just want to lightly tint it, maybe let a little air in, and we're going to let this rest. We're going to let this rest for a few minutes. Then we'll cut it open and see how we did. Alright, once you let this steak rest for a while, the judge, however you pronounce it, you want to put your spinalis first because that's the bite they're going to take, the one closest to them. So they're going to cut it straight across, and then they're going to look at that color, and then they're going to look at that color and see if that's a perfect medium. Then they're going to take that, their knife, and they're going to cut that spinalis off. And they're going to take their bite from the spinalis. That's good tasting steak.